Today I get the gear shift control levers fitted and the Carby and Airbox back on the engine. I got a shot of paint on this last night. There was quite pitted rust in this area. Hopefully the acid that I ran before neutralised that a bit. There was rust on the top there as well. That bracket's a lot cleaner obviously now than it was. The levers wire brushed up okay. That's ready to put back together. I've still got to run the fuel line under the rubber across to the outlet of the petrol tank. I'll do that first. Softening up a bit of rubber tube. Makita battery powered, well it's a Makita battery, it's a $40 heat gun. The old school way of doing it was to dip it in hot water. Gets probably a bit more temperature into it and softens it up. I'm pretty keen to have a fairly soft tube to press on here this time because of the problems I had with breaking that spigot off the petrol pump, and hopefully that will now slip on there. Yes, right on, no problem. That's my supply line to the carburettor fitted. It's a good thing. That's my tool of the week, David. That's the levers connected up, cleaned up. Put a bit of degreaser on the handles and they cleaned up nice. Reverse lever is doing its job without a problem. Its length adjustment here is, I roughly set it where it was, I think. I'm a little concerned about the transfer box shift. It seems to be going forward into high properly, having issues coming back, and that's possibly just because the transmission's not turning. Again, length adjustment here can be made at a later stage. I've always had trouble getting the snorkel to go in, particularly you'd think there's not a hell of a lot of stuff on the bike at the moment. It's got to sort of go in and twist. It's getting caught between the bracket here and the bracket here. It's got to go down, I think, sort of sideways to miss the cylinder head there and sort of be walked through a little bit, twisted back up between those control cables, and yeah, it seems like I've done it with one hand. That's pretty much got it into place. I've seen a number of them with this piece broken out. I think it might be exposed to a bit of sunlight, gets brittle. I'm not exactly sure why that bump is there. I don't know whether it's the seat hits it as well. There's a bracket that goes on between here and here, and it joins into the airbox down there. I've sat that airbox in position temporarily sort of at the moment. So I've added a few more things to the engine today. I've fitted the carburettor, it's got its new needle and seat in it, airbox. Got a few of the loom cable tied up. I've got the levers in place there. You can see the snorkel, the fuel lines, the vacuum lines. Here's a vacuum line here going through to the petcock. I was wondering what this clip on the side of the coil was for, but I'm guessing that's what it's for. There are the original lines, so they had a bit of a bend in them and a kink in them already. Sort of showed me where they had to go pretty much. I've got my two wires here to join up if I want to run the gear selection display. There's two more tubes to go on the airbox. Both of them are just water drains. Well, I don't know what to add from this side. The snorkel mount at the top there, snorkel's plumbed in. Start running some of these reusable cable ties, which are nice to mount things. So the fuel line and the vacuum line that runs up to the fuel pump are both connected in. That's the one running down petcock, the suck line. That's the other end of the vacuum line on the shut-off petcock. Yeah, the snorkel's got this damaged piece, but otherwise it cleaned up pretty well. It's discoloured here. Don't know why, but I think they all do that. This gear selection for the sub-transmission needs to come away along with the engine. Stay there to get the exhaust in, because the exhaust runs from here through behind here and down under the cylinder like that. It's just taking time. That's a coat of acid drying on it after I wire brushed a lot of the dirt off it. Not a lot of rust involved. It's very straight and in shape. I'm pretty happy with how that's coming up. The actual gear shift pedal is bent. If you come around in this direction, she's bent out way too much that way. It was pivoting on the bolt when it should be pivoting on the bush, which is rusted in the end of it, like I've seen on all my other bikes. I'm imagining it's going to be quite warm, that bush, as well when I pull it out. It may well need a fix like I've done on my 94 bike. You also get play in this pin. I'm going to get a shot of paint on this footrest tonight so I can mount it tomorrow. The zinc shines through pretty quickly with a bit of acid on it, either side of the zinc or the powder coating, and a little bit of red rust in a few spots there. Yeah, there's no heavy pitting anywhere. Can you name the bird? It's in good shape. The footrest will clean up like new. Get out to your shed and have some fun.